Hello everybody. This is Dr. Ellis, and I would like to take a few minutes to explain what you look for when it comes to your assignments each week. For instance, we are currently in week 3, so you can see I have the summary of topics, and it tells you what the topic is 3, which means it's week 3, but also it tells you the date as well. So make sure you know exactly. I try to make it easier on you because it has dates on each summary of topic. Each week, really, what you should look for is, you can go through the lecture notes and lesson activities, but what I want you to pay attention to each week is the graded activities. Again, the least that you can do each week is to go to where? Go to the graded activities. And then when you click on the SimBook readings, tells you that for this week we are going to focus on what? Word chapter 1 and Word chapter 2. So when you go to your SimNet and you go to your SimBook, for this week, the focus is going to be on Word chapter 1 and Word chapter 2. Remember, the SimBook is just for reading purposes. It's not really going to be, I'm not going to grade that. But again, it helps you with your assignments, your quizzes, and then your practice. All right, let me rephrase this again. Your SimBook is for reading purposes, but it's very helpful. So don't get stressed too much about it. But focus on the SimNet quizzes and SimNet practice. All right. Okay. Let me go back to week 3. So, as I said, make sure this is where I want you to focus your attention on each week, every week. All right. This is where your graded activities assignments is going to be shown. There's always going to be a forum discussion or forum, and then the forums are going to be labeled forum 1 for week 1, forum 2 for say week 2, forum 3 is for week 3, and I use the forum as your attendance for the class. So make sure you always log on to Backfield portal to complete your weekly forums, and it's due by Thursday, 11:55. Right, so your forms are always due by Thursday, 11:55, and you need at least 3 responses. Make sure you read instructions. For instance, when I click on Form 3, these are the instructions for Form 3. So the first response is 50 points, and you need at least one response to at least 2 of your classmates. 2 response for 50 points. So the combined response would be 100 points combined. 50 points for the initial response. You have to respond to the question itself, and then at least 2 additional responses to your classmates. So that's how, that is done. All right. So I know that it's pretty much easy to do the weekly forum. So keep up the good work. I've read your discussions for the past 2 weeks, and it looks great. All right, now let's go to SimNet. So I'll go back again. Each week, there are going to be 2 SimNet assignments each week. There are going to be 2 SimNet assignments. So the SimNet assignments are going to be, there's always going to be a practice, and there's also going to be what? Quiz. Practice and quiz. So when you log on to SimNet, make sure you look at exactly, practice, and then it would be, for instance, practice 3 is going to be on creating and editing documents, skills, and chart skills. All right. So let's click on here real quick and I'll show you how it looks like. All the SimNet assignments, you have to log on to SimNet. All right. So I always show you guys the link to SimNet. So once you click on the link, you log in using your user ID and password, and it takes you to SimNet. And this is how the view looks like, every week. All right, so depending on what chapter we are covering this week, all right, you would have to go to the group. For instance, for the first 2 weeks, we covered what? Intro chapter. This week, we are doing, which is week 3, we are doing word 1 and 2, which is, again, it's all going to be grouped. So for this week, we're going to be doing a word chapter 1 and 2. And all your SimNet chapters are going to be here. So let's say if you want to read more to comprehend the chapter, you could always go to go to the SimBook and pick the chapter of reference. So for instance, since we are on week 3, which is this group, which is, again, it's word chapter 1 and 2. When you click on it, it tells you what is assigned. And also, the SimBook books are also here. So again, the SimBook here is not required. The SimBook is just for your reading purposes. SimBook here is just for your reading purposes. So for this week, I always recommend you complete the practice first. Before you take your quiz. So always complete the practice first. All right, the practice first before you take your quizzes. And that's how each week is going to be set up, each week. So don't make it too hard on yourself. SimNet is really is not hard at all. The best way of doing well in your practice and quizzes is all about repetition. So the way the exam or the exams are set up, all right. For instance, when I click on practice, guess what? There's about 43 questions. You have 10 attempts. 10 attempts. That's a lot. So really, just be patient, right? You go through one, you mess it up, you have to read why you missed it, go back and take it again. Exactly. So it's all patience and practice. Don't rush through the practice and then the exams or the quizzes. Okay. All right. So this is how the practice looks like. And then when I go back to the quizzes, when I click on, let's say, the quiz for this week, same. I think it's about 65 questions. You have 10 attempts allowed. The time is 30 minutes. I think I have to change the time here a little bit. I think 65 questions should be more than 30 minutes. So I'll change the time. But I guess what you have 10 attempts. So I mean, you should know that the intent here is not to. Intent is really I want you all to do well, but it takes some time. So you have to spend some time to go through the quizzes. Spend some time to go through the practice. The practice as well. All right. So again, this is just a quick overview of SimNet, and you all have my cell phone number, email addresses. Please, if you have any questions, please call me or text me or email me. All right. The only way I would know that you are struggling is if you reach out to me early. So please don't waste too much time. Always contact me if you need my help. And I know things are going to be fine. There are a lot of your classmates doing really, really well. So if you know some of your classmates, you can also connect with them. But I'm always around to help you. Always around. All right. Just pick up the phone and call. Just email me or text me. Okay. All right. All right. So again, I'll go back to the class. All right. And I told you that what I want you guys to focus on each week is to go to the graded activities. All right. Each week. That's where you have to focus your time on. Here, this section here, each week. All right. These lesson chapters, lesson activities. Honestly, since we have the sim book, it's not really required. You can still review if you have time. It will give you more insight, more comprehension. But the sim book and the practice and quizzes, they are sufficient. If you take your time and you go through the exercises, you are going to be just fine. All right. Thank you so much, and good luck. And let me know if I can be of help. All right. All right. Have a good day. Bye.